So just kind of where we are at now. So last video, I talked about how I wasn't really feeling our next steps. I wasn't really feeling moving to IVF. I was really bummed about needing to move to IVF. I'm still bummed about needing to move to IVF. I'm still bummed that we had to take that step, but it's what we have to do, and so we're doing it. I did get all my tests done, and I had a regroup with my endocrinologist, and same story. It looked good. Everything looked good. They did do a procedure where they did take a look just to make sure everything looked good internally, and it does. And so we are currently in the stage of where we are stopping everything, and I'm on birth control, and we are going to do basically we're suppressing basically my system and trying to control it. So I'm in my first week of birth control. I take birth control for about another 2.5 weeks, and then I stop birth control, and then a couple days after that we start my stem meds, which is where we stimulate the ovaries to produce as many eggs as possible. So that is where I'm at the moment. I'm in between. I'm getting all my, I'm doing the meds, and then we've ordered the meds so far. I'm waiting for them to come in, so that way we can start the stimulation on time, and we can get everything going. So I am excited to start. I'm just not a fan of the fact that we have to do all of this, because it's a lot of shots. It's a lot of your life revolves around IVF, because you have to take certain things at certain times, and you have to do it, and you have to do it very regimented. And if anybody knows, life as a mom is not regimented. It's very not. You want it to be regimented. You try to make it regimented, but it's not very regimented. And so that's been a bit of a struggle, but that's where we are. So we're looking at, based on today, we are about a month out from retrieval, and then with retrieval we will have to wait about 2 to 3 weeks for testing to get done, and then when testing is done, we can set a date for transfer. I will only be doing probably one cycle, just because that's what I can do financially. My doctor, because of my low egg count and my low egg quality, my doctor, did suggest maybe doing 2 or 3 rounds, and then basically doing all the eggs together, and that's what we get. But financially, I just can't afford to do that many rounds of retrieval. So that is where we are at. I did make a big decision, though. So as I said in my prior video, when it comes to IVF, they take the law of halves. So the example I used in my last video was, we get 10 eggs, which is 5 eggs, or some conglomerate of 5 and 5, 6 and 4, whatever. We get that many eggs, and then from there, only half fertilized. So from 10 eggs, you get 5 fertilized eggs, and then from there, you have to still grow them to blastocytes. So that's only 2 to 3 eggs, and from there, the chance of it being genetically normal is another half. So you're talking 1 to 2 eggs. So out of 10 eggs, you maybe get 1 or 2 or none that are good. Now, obviously, everyone hoped to defy the odds. Everyone hoped to. I would love to have like 20 eggs, 18, 20 eggs, and in the end with like 5 or 6 eggs. That would be fantastic. But that's probably not what's going to happen, given the fact that I do have a low egg count and that my egg quality is not great. And so, given the likelihood that I may get only 1 or 2 eggs, and even then, those 1 or 2 eggs only have a 60% chance of actually implanting and growing and becoming a healthy pregnancy with a healthy infant at the end of this, I have decided that I am going to look into possibly doing embryonic donation. And basically, embryonic donation is exactly what it sounds like. It is getting a donor embryo, so somebody else's embryo that's already been fertilized, already grown, and then was frozen, and it's not being used by them, and having that child. Now, that would mean I have no control over the donor. I have no control over either of them. I mean, I can pick, obviously, just like I do for sperm, donor characteristics, but I don't have, it wouldn't be my own sperm donor. I could get an egg donor and a sperm donor, but financially, it actually makes more sense to get an embryo because it's already there. And it would be different if it was, I had a partner, so it was my partner sperm, obviously then maybe just an egg donor. But given the fact that I don't have somebody, it doesn't really matter to me who the sperm donor is and who the egg donor is. And so, and I already, when I started this journey about a year ago, I did not want to do embryonic donation because I wanted to have my own biological child. But I'm already the mom of 2 incredible adopted children, and I love adoption, and adoption is great, and I don't have a problem with raising children that are not biologically mine because they're still mine. And so that kind of, a lot of praying and a lot of soul searching got me to the agreement that if we go through all of this and we don't come out with the baby, I will look at that option. But the real reason why I'm doing this is I do want to experience pregnancy. I want to experience pregnancy, and as much as I would love to do it in a conventional way, currently I'm not in a relationship. I don't have any relationship on the horizon. That could change. I mean, that can always change. If anybody had ever seen the movie The Backup Plan, definitely possible. Of course, nothing really ever happened like it does in Hollywood. So I could meet somebody and this may all stop, but I'm not going to. And so I have to decide what I'm going to do going forward, and how I want to grow my family by myself. And right now it's been through IUI, which, if you've been on the journey, has worked twice, but unfortunately both times ended in miscarriage. And now it's through IVF, and then possibly it is maybe going to end in embryo donation. I don't know. I hope it doesn't. I do still want a biological child. I would be remiss to say that I don't care. I mean, yes, I'd like a biological child. However, being an adoptive mom is amazing, and I love my sons with the deepest love that you can have, and they're my sons. Biology has nothing to do with love, but I do want a biological child. I do want somebody who looked like me and looked like the people I grew up with, and it would be remiss to say that I don't. I do. But if that's not the way my life goes, then that's not the way my life goes, and that's okay. And so that's where we are at. It's not very exciting. It's just basically birth control every day. And, so if you have to be regimented with that. You have to take pills at the same time every day. So I have an alarm to remind me, because I am one of those people that I get wrapped up in whatever I'm doing, especially when I work. And, you forget things. So I have my alarm set. And so I'm hoping if I get closer to retrieval, my optimism picks up a little bit. It's all going to be worth it, but it is very, after a year, it is starting to get very hard. And, again, there's people who have been dealing with infertility for 10 years or more. So for me, I am very lucky that we're only a year in. I'm lucky that I know I can get pregnant. I feel good about my decision to get genetic testing. Many people have have ethical questions about it, and don't always feel great about the idea of testing. But I do feel good about genetic testing, because I given the 2 miscarriages, given my age, given my egg quality, I want to make sure that I am doing what I have to do and giving my future children the best chance. And again, in the perfect world, there's a ton of eggs, and they're all genetically normal, and that all it takes. But then again, as I've said, the ethical question then is, what do you do with all these genetically normal embryos when I only want one baby? I am a single mom, so saying winning the lottery and becoming very, very wealthy, I can only really financially support 1, maybe 2 more children on my own. So what do you do with that? So that's the other ethical question. As much as you'd want to have a bunch of healthy, genetically normal embryos just in case the first one doesn't take or whatever, the truth of the matter is that's a big ethical question as well. So that's where we're at. I'm hoping for the best. I'm hoping I handle the medication well, that there's a bunch of embryos, a bunch of eggs that turn into a bunch of good, robust embryos that grade well. And then, in about a year, 11 months to a year, there's a healthy little person that joined our family and joined our life. And I know my boys will be amazing big brothers. They already are amazing big brothers. And they have younger siblings. And so that's where we're at. And thank you for sticking around this long with the video. Like, comment, subscribe, share this video. I know I'm not the only one going through this, and the whole reason for this video is to help people just know that they're not alone. This is a very lonely process, especially when you're doing it as a single mom, as a single person. It's very, very lonely. And so feel free to like and share and subscribe and comment on the video. That's how I get more subscribers. That's how I get in front of more people. I really appreciate you guys that do watch the videos. And I hope all is well, and God bless.